We have our rodeo queens with us today, our junior and our senior rodeo queens, and as part of their competition, they have to learn or write and prepare a reading. Is that what we call it, girls? Or a speech or something. But anyway, these two did theirs in connection with our Centennial. As you know, Duchesne County was 100 years old last year, and so they performed in relation to that. So we've asked them to come here and to honor you folks by hearing it. So first we'll hear from our senior queen, who is Kaylin Iverson, and then we'll hear from Callie Fabrizio.
Hi, it's so good to see you. Hey, I have someone I want you to meet. I have known her my whole life, and you are going to love her. She was born at noon on January 4th, 1915, and is celebrating her 100th birthday. She lives in the heart of the Uinta Basin, where the oil fields and farmlands meet the beautiful, yet rugged high Uinta Mountains. She is rich in minerals, and even the rare honeycomb calcite can be found in her veins. She spans over 3,000 square miles and has amazing, unique features. From Sleeping Lady Mountain, Stoneface, vast juniper and pinyon pine forests, Starvation Road Bridge, tall peaks, high lakes, blue ribbon rivers, to picturesque petroglyph panoramas. Her family is very important to her. Her children are kind, honest, and hardworking. She is Western and loves to rodeo. Every year, the world's finest cowboys and cowgirls come to visit her, and she welcomes them with open arms. She loves her livestock as well as wildlife, and tends both with care, feeding them and watching them grow and play. She's King's Peak climbing, barrel racing, calf roping, horseback riding, trout fishing, pheasant hunting, National Geographic promoting, backpacking, gold digging, cattle branding, horn hunting, and ATV mama. Amazing people have come from her neck of the woods. Shanae Shiner Vest, Nancy Hunter, Redner Shard, Charlie Jenkins, Lorraine Day, Caleb Rhodes, Chief Tabby, the Sundance Kid, and so many more call her their home girl. Friends old and new are always welcome to visit her, and thousands of people come to see her beautiful backyard every year. Well, I've got to go. I'll let you get to know her. Oh, I forgot to give you her name. It's Duchesne County. To know her is to love her.
I have a dear friend who is getting kind of old. Actually, she just celebrated her 100th birthday. We all know her as Duchesne County. Throughout her history, legendary characters and outlaws have paid her a visit, such as the U.S. Cavalry, fur trappers, mountain men, Indian chiefs, and gold prospectors. There have been many stories told about the secrets Duchesne County keeps hidden within her borders. The Lost Roads mine and the gold it hoards has eluded prospectors for years. Did Caleb Rhodes leave behind a map showing the direction to the mine? Or does the stone face in the North Fork of the Duchesne River, who stands guard of the heart of his lost love, signal the route to this hidden Spanish treasure? Could there possibly be a monster in Moon Lake? Is Sleeping Lady an actual sleeping lady? Do strawberries grow along the banks of the Strawberry River? Is there a king on King's Peak? Is Dead Ox Flat really named after a dead ox? Will we starve at Starvation Reservoir? Did somebody lose their marbles on Marble Knoll? And is the Duchesne Cemetery the final resting place of the Sundance Kid? If Duchesne County could talk, here's what I think she would say. I am home to the most beautiful wilderness in the state of Utah. I have hundreds of lakes, miles of rivers and streams, and 3 national forests. If you come visit, you will see moose, elk, mule deer, antelope, mountain lions, bears, bobcats, and maybe even Bigfoot. I am proud of the hard-working, down-to-earth men and women who make me their home, and I am excited to welcome the visitors who come bask in my beauty and play in my great outdoors. So come on over, my doors are always open, and who knows, maybe I'll even tell you one of my secrets. And don't you worry about my age. 100 years old, that's nothing. I could go at least 100 more.
I would just like to thank you guys all for everything you have done for the royalty. You guys mean a lot to us, and thank you for a great year.
We have some Uinta County Commissioners with us today, and I can tell they're just green with envy with the beauty that's produced over here in our end of the world. We really appreciate them. And they've represented us well. It's my honor to welcome you all here today, and I'm really grateful for this privilege. It's been a fun project. As you can see on the program, I've been the project manager, and I started this, well, if I say I too much, I apologize for that, because there's a lot of hands, but it has been a dream of mine. But many years ago, probably 15 or 16 or something like that, a young man by the name of Larry Ross. Larry, raise your hand. There he is, former commissioner of Duchesne County. He added this during his term with his cohorts, added this to the county's capital improvement list. And so it's been there just kind of riding along all of that time. And then as the years went on and we started actually trying to make the project happen, when I came along, we had a few challenges that we recognized. Of course, financing being the biggest one, but felt like that could be a hurdle we could deal with. But the other one was location. Our fairgrounds just wasn't quite big enough. And so there was another young man that I worked with by the name of Rod Harrison. Rod, where are you at? Raise your hand. Another former county commissioner. Rod was instrumental in helping us acquire another 10 acres of ground on the south side of the fairgrounds that we needed to provide more parking. You may not realize it, but for those that was here during our county fair this year, which was a lot of Hughes Construction people and Nexus and others that was around, and subcontractors, they recognized what I had been telling them for nearly 8 months, was that this place was going to get way busy in the first week of August. And so during that first week of August, it's not uncommon at all for us to have about 80 to even 100 camp trailers that move into our fairgrounds for the county fair for nearly the whole week. Most of them stay all week. And so we built a campground down on the east end after about 4.5 years of a process trying to get a permit from the Army Corps of Engineers to build that campground in what used to be an old hayfield there. And that took a long time, but we finally got through that hurdle. So about 3 years ago, we built a campground there that holds about 44 trailers with electricity, sewer, and water, and then we're able to overflow back on up to the other end. That helped us solve a lot of our parking problems, but well, and I got a little bit ahead of myself. Just prior to that, we had another issue here at the county fairgrounds, and just after becoming a county commissioner a couple of years, I was walking out of our rodeo arena one night after an event at the county fair, and it had really rained that day. And as I'm walking out through there, I walked through the parking lot there, and the water was just on the verge of running over the top of my boots in a big mud puddle there. And as I looked around, I could see these power cords about this big running through that mud puddle, and I thought, you know, I think we got a drainage problem. So we started also to working on fixing the parking lot out here. And Commissioner Winterton and I and Commissioner Wood, he's here today. Commissioner Wood, raise your hand if you would, please. He's a former commissioner. But we started working on trying to construct the parking lot. Of course, we had engineers helping and design it and everything else. And in that process as well, I was going out of the rodeo arena one night and I noticed the old tin restroom we had there. And there was a line of women there, and I'm sure you can all relate to this story, but of about 30 or 40 waiting to go into that filthy old tin restroom. I told my wife as we was leaving, if I was a woman, there wasn't anything I'd go to at this arena. And she said, "Why do you think I never drink when I'm here?" But so that was part of that project, the parking lot project. And one day, Ron Winterton, where's he at? Raise your hand, Ron. There he is, current Commission County Chairman. But Ron and I came down to help with the parking lot, and he hauled over 100 loads of topsoil into that arena, or into the parking lot that day, of shell and fill and stuff from a pit right up here. And he was just like this all day long. And I ran a loader, and we had a lot of fun, didn't we, Ron? But anyway, that was part of that process. We got the parking lot system and everything, but we still didn't have room for the arena. And so about that time, the school district decided they wanted to move their facility and update. We were able to trade for the property they had, which is just right out here in the arena area. They had some bus garages and things there. And so we traded for that property and acquired it, but we're still lacking sufficient parking and for stables and things like that. And then about 3 years ago, kind of a little windfall, I had tried to acquire it earlier, but across the river is about 40 acres over there. And I tried to acquire it earlier, and the price was just outrageous. And so we just backed up and kind of thought, well, we'll have to think through this. And lo and behold, that property fell into bankruptcy. And so we made a bid on it, and we purchased that property across the river. So now we had sufficient property to build this facility and to provide parking for the events that take place during our county fair especially. And then for other events, we're hoping that it will take place here in this arena. So now we've got the property, but we need to connect the two pieces. And that was our next challenge, was how are we going to connect the two pieces? Because there's a river that runs between us, if you haven't noticed there. And it really wasn't safe to go out on the highway and ask people to go around there to cross the highway to get back to this property for activities or events or whatever. So as we're contemplating on what do we do with that, we realized that we're gonna have to put a bridge across there. I remember Kurt and Ron and I kind of sitting around chatting about that one day, and all of a sudden Ron says, "We have a bridge." And then we realized, yeah, we did have a bridge, and we kind of just grinned, okay, yeah, we do have a bridge. Because at the time, the old Bridgeland Bridge had been abandoned, which was 10 miles east of here on the old River Road. The county had moved away from it for about 12 or 13 years prior, and it's sitting down there as a millstone, really because it needed rehab. It's covered with lead paint. It's fallen into the river. The deck was rotting away, falling into the river. And before Larry left office, we had investigated in trying to rehab that in place and just leave it as a monument there. And the price tag was about $1 million because of the lead paint. You had to put a great big baggie around it and all that stuff and to rehab the bridge. And we just decided, no, we don't think that's an appropriate expenditure and too much money. So we actually, the more we thought about it and tried to think, how do we get across the river and what about that bridge? We asked Jones and DeMille. We have a couple of them guys with us today, Mike and Ryan. Yeah, there, Ryan. Yeah, where is he? He's in here somewhere. Anyway, they helped us with that, and they did a study for us, and we actually found out that we could move that bridge cheaper than we could build a new one here and throw that one away even, because it still had to come off of the river. And so when we realized that, then we got real serious about moving the Bridgeland Bridge up here to connect the two pieces of property. And before I forget, if you haven't seen the Bridgeland Bridge, as you leave the parking lot, go around back of the building, and there it sits. You can't miss it. But we decided, okay, that's a realistic thing to do. Not only that, that bridge was built in 1926. It's old-time construction. It was put together with hot rivets. It's just a beautiful piece of construction. And the more I learned about it, the more passionate I got about it, because I had the privilege of talking to the Jones and DeMille engineers, and the construction company we hired to move it was Dry Creek and their engineers, and that is a wonderful piece of work. And so we was able to preserve it. So we spent about 3 months actually getting it there. However, there's still some punch list items to do on it. But they took that structure, which is 20 feet long, about 30 feet wide, a little over 20 feet high, and they had to clean the old cement deck off of it. They moved it, and then they cut the top off of it, literally cut the top off of it clear through, and we hauled it up in 2 different pieces. Oh, and I forgot that it weighs about 140,000 pounds. And so being blessed to live in the basin where the energy industry was big, we had people that knew how to move that kind of a piece of steel. So they brought the top up on the first day, set it on a couple of trucks. One went backwards, the other went forward, come right up the highway and through town. And each piece sitting on the truck was a little over 17 feet high, as I recall, wasn't it, Mike? And we cleared the stoplight up here by about that much with each piece. They measured quite well because they both cleared it by about 1.5 inches and set it up over here and put big tents over it, did all of the paint stripping and everything offside on the river and repainted it, put it back together, hence it's across the river. We have a video that's going to be continually running down in the other conference room now that we'd invite you. It's about 5 minutes long or so, that shows some pictures about that movement. That's a fun video to watch. So now we had the bridge in place, and but that went on at the same time we did here. But we got our funding through the CIB board to build this facility. Loan grant combination. The county put in a lot of money, about $1.5 million. All of this money come from mineral lease and other funds. And I'm going to leave that to Commissioner Winterton to talk about. But that's the history of how we got here today. And as you've been through it now, there's been a lot of work taking place to prepare for today. Shane and his crew have worked very hard. I got here about 7 o'clock this morning, and some of them had been here since 5. And we spent all day yesterday in here trying to get clean, and the road department, a lot of those men helping prepare the arena. And so it's been a great project, and in my opinion, a lot of fun. The only difference is I'd like to have known a year ago what I know today. And there'd be a lot less little tweaks we've still got yet to do. But I'd like to, just as I conclude, introduce a few people to you. We have first some folks here from Hughes Construction. And where you guys at? I know you're there somewhere. We have Hughes Construction with us. They were our general contractor on that project. A man I got to know and appreciate, Steve Blazard. He's actually is related to the local Blazards out here. And Steve was kind of the on-site boss or foreman or whatever, and the subs all hated him, and that meant he was doing his job. That's not true, they didn't hate him, but that meant Steve was doing his job. We really appreciate him and Sean and Lynn with him as well here, helping us. Also over here we have Nexus architect firm, Jeff, Peter. Jeff is our principal, and Peter is actually the lead architect on the court system that's going on up above with the courtrooms. And so I think that's who I've got on my list. A special thanks to Irene and her staff. Irene Hansen, we all know and love Irene. She works very hard for us all. I think we give her a hand. And also, we have one other special guest, 2 other special guests I need to introduce to you. We also have with us today Miss Duchesne County, Chantel Townsend. Did I get that right? Chelsea. I knew I'd mess that one up. I practiced too, I'm sorry. It's all right. Another one of the beautiful girls from the basin, Mike. And her sister, Chantel. She's the other one. They're sisters. Chelsea is the queen and Chantel is the first attendant. Is that correct? Yeah. All right. Got her. All right, thank you. Now I'd like to turn the time. Introduce Commissioner Winterton is here with us. Oh, and I forgot Ken and Greg. My goodness, I apologize so much for that. Our other county commissioners, very supportive, very helpful in the process. But we have, just to introduce the program as we go along here just real quickly, we do have Commissioner Winterton, And then we're going to have a little short video presentation that's prepared that shows a little bit of history. And for our Centennial, we had a young man that was mentioned in the reading earlier by the name of Charlie Jenkins, who was a Basin resident and went to school at Union and all that stuff. That's a country western singer. He wrote a song about Duchesne County, and you'll see that in the video along with some footage on this project in our county fair. And then we're going to hear from Senator Van Tassel. So, Ron, if you would, please.
This is something I don't like to do, so it's going to be short. But I do need to introduce a few people and recognize them. We've got members from our Community Impact Board here with us. We've got Senator Okerlund, Senator Van Tassel, Representative Brad King, Scott Chu. We've got the mayors from Roseville City, Duchesne City, some councilmen here. I do want to acknowledge them, but we've got Bruce Adam, Commissioner Bruce Adam, Jay Potter, Mike McKee. They're on the Community Impact Board, and so I just need to give a special thanks to them. We've got our chairman from the CIB board also, Keith Heaton's here. I think he's probably the only other one in the staff here, but just real brief on the funding for this building. Can't mention that the county put in some money, but we went to the CIB. We were looking for about $5.2 million. We ended up getting a half grant, half loan on that. And so that money, if you don't understand where that comes from, it's mineral lease money that comes off from the production of federal lands. And we're able to go to that board and ask or make requests on how to communities that have impacts. This is kind of some of the things that we do with that money. And so we, as a county, have also what we call revitalization funds, and that's money that the state shares back with us, with UNN, Duchesne County, and the Ute Tribe, and that's from production from the Ute Tribe, and severance tax that's paid in, so we get a portion of that. And so in order to pay back the loan, we've committed our revitalization funds to making those payments. So you can say that we've done this without our tax dollars. We have put taxpayers' money in it in regards to the labor and in regards to the maintenance crew and our road crew. Our road crew, they ended up stepping up to keep this on budget. We made up about $1 million, and so they did the groundwork and foundation work in that, both here and up on our court project. And so our county employees, you know, that was in the budget already. We had them doing this instead of out grading roads and doing that this year. So they've kept us within budget. I'm proud to say that we haven't gone over on this. We've worked with the state Department of Construction. They helped us manage the finances on this and kept us right there in line. One other thing, that's about all I want to really say. I appreciate, it's been a fun project. Kent's done a great job in overseeing this as he left office. Commissioner Todd and Commissioner Burdick and I thought it'd be a good idea to keep him on to oversee this. This was something that he really wanted to see happen, and we didn't have the time to be down here. And so Kent's overseeing that, and I'd like him and his wife, we actually hired them for this past year to be project managers and to help us with the Centennial celebration. And so I'd like the two of them to come up right now, if they would. No, you gotta come up.
He's definitely the better half of the two, that's for sure.
Let's applaud to that.
On behalf of the Centennial Committee and the county, we'd like to present them with some gifts of tokens of appreciation. We've got her a blanket. The blanket has the Centennial logo on it, and then a leather briefcase for Kent. And this is, Irene was the one that was responsible to get these gifts, but just a small token of the time and the effort that you two have put in to go around to the communities and try to get involvement from them and buy-in as ownership as part of Duchesne County and our celebration. So thank you both for the job you've done.
There's a little place on a Utah map where I was raised, where my heart's at, where the sagebrush grows wild and high, and the stars come out at night. Been 100 years since it was born, and it'll be here a few hundred more. We've got a lot of tough and a lot of pride in that Duchesne County life. We keep the oil pumping like blood in our veins, red as the clay in the mountain plains. Work all day and play all night, the Duchesne County life. Oh, Duchesne County life. Folks round here treat each other right. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the base with a Ute reservation, Duchesne County life. The wind that blows don't blow us down, no, our roots run deep in each base in town. We make things work and make things grow. In the wintertime we pray for snow. We keep the oil pumping like blood in our veins, red as the clay in the mountain plains. Work all day and play all night, the Duchesne County life. Oh, Duchesne County life. Folks round here treat each other right. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the base with a Ute reservation, Duchesne County life. Got open space where the cougar runs free, and the eagle soars on a mountain breeze. Got longhorn red and tiger stripes in this Duchesne County life. We keep the oil pumping like blood in our veins, red as the clay in the mountain plains. Work all day and play all night, the Duchesne County life. Oh, Duchesne County life. Folks round here treat each other right. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the base with a Ute reservation. Oh, Duchesne County life. Folks round here treat each other right. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the basin with a Ute reservation, skiing starvation, that Duchesne County life. Round here treat each other right. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the base with a Ute reservation, Duchesne County life. Round Reservation, Duchesne County Live.
See the changes that have been made in Duchesne County, and particularly here at the fairgrounds. It's a unique challenge. If you were to look directly north, there used to be a fish pond there. As a young kid, I fished in when I was down here at the county fair, but it went away because of too many mosquitoes, I think. But we've made a lot of changes. In the late 50s, we'd come down as we'd bring our livestock to show at the county fair, and we'd put clean straw down in the pens and put our sleeping bags down and stay with them and show them at the fair. And walk up to Jacoby Drug, a few of you probably remember that, and get us an iron port drink and celebrate down here. And one year we let the hay stay in the field for 2 weeks while we faired and went to the IUNA. So it's a great opportunity, and we've had a lot of changes. The facilities has improved immensely, and all of these, although they're expensive to build, will have a positive impact on Duchesne County. It's a great opportunity to have a facility like this, so if people want to come to bring family members, even for a family reunion or a Christmas party or whatever it might be, they'll have a facility that's public that they can come and rent and participate and be in Duchesne. But it also provides for the youth of the county and surrounding counties to come and exhibit their livestock, to participate in the 4-H program that we have been a part of here in Duchesne County for years. Gives us a chance to exhibit our artwork, our photos, our quilts that are made, and all of those things that will come in. The facilities are just better than they've ever been. And certainly we should see some growth for the county fair and the great opportunities that we'll have to participate in with a building like this. And I was talking with the commissioners, and it looks like there's a rodeo coming here in the winter. That doesn't happen very often in the Uinta Basin unless you have some place to get in outside of the cold. And so I think it'll be a great development tool. I know I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank you, Duchesne County, for all that you do. You know, the county has grown a lot since the 50s to today. And part of that is because of the oil extraction and the energy business, but part of it is because we've had jobs here for our youth to come back and to live here in Duchesne County, to work here and to stay. And we're struggling right now with the down economy, and I believe that we will overcome that. And we'll do some things that will allow us that our youth can continue to work. The biggest problem we've had in the past in rural Utah is we have exported our most valuable resource, and that is our children. And we need jobs, we need good jobs, we need the opportunity for them to stay and work if they choose to. And I think both Duchesne County Commission, as well as the Uinta County Commission, the local governments, the cities and the towns, we're all committed to do that. We want to have an opportunity that if your kids want to stay and work in the Uinta Basin, that we have good jobs for them. And I think it's all a piece. It's never one. It takes many different issues and many different developments to make that happen. So congratulations, Duchesne County. Glad you got to stay on, Commissioner Petrus, just to finish this one. And thank you for a job well done, Duchesne County. Great show and great opportunity. And by the way, if you want to see this video again, you can go on YouTube, and it is posted there under Ryan Lundstrom. And I sent a copy of it to Scott Anderson at Zions Bank, and he reviewed it and emailed me back, and he says, what about that is the great spirit of the county fairs in rural Utah. So great presentation, great work, Ryan, thank you. So thank you all, and it's good to be here with you.
Commissioner McKee, did you still want to do your song? There's a story behind that. One of these days, I'd love to tell you, every one of you. Okay, so we'll go on then. We've asked Mayor Ryan, Roosevelt City Mayor, if he would just give us a prayer and a blessing on our facility and our county, and then we'll move from that out to the front And Post 22, American Legion, is going to run the flag up the pole for the very first time. When the pole was put in the ground, Steve handed me the flag, says, "Do you want to run it up?" And I said, "Nope." And I put it under my arm and I carried it home. So this, we did try it earlier to make sure it fit, but that's as far as it went. So today it's going to go up the pole for the very first time, and then we're also going to have a little ribbon cutting there, and we'd really appreciate and love to have everybody join us out there right in front of the building after the prayer. But if you'd like to wander around, the video's down below still, and please feel free to take it all in. We love it, and we hope you do.
Our Father in heaven, we are gathered here this day for a special opportunity and for a special time to be together. Father, we know that we are very blessed, and we thank you for the blessings that we enjoy. We're so grateful to live where we do and to be in such a beautiful part of this great state. We're grateful to be surrounded by so many varieties of nature, and to especially be blessed by the people who live here, for the good friendships and good neighbors and willingness to help one another that we find here in this county. Father, we are here for a special event this day. We appreciate so much this new facility. We give thanks to those who envisioned this and who worked so hard to make it come to reality, and those who worked with them, and many people who did so many things that were behind the scenes and not recognized openly. We are grateful for those who designed and constructed this facility. We are grateful for the people who will use it, and we pray, Father, that we can have thy Spirit to help us to respect it, that there will be a minimal amount of destruction or defacing, as this facility is meant to last for many years and to be a gathering place for events and also to mingle with friends and to create new friends. We are especially grateful for the people of this county who deserve this facility and who have made it happen. And we pray that we will always use it wisely and accomplish the things that need to be done, that we can enjoy being here. And we thank thee again for all of the blessings that we have, and pray that as we separate, that we will all be able to return to our homes in safety. And we express thanks to both elected and other officials who have taken time out of their lives to be here today in support. And we thank thee for all of these things and say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.